First, my thoughts and prayers go out to all the people in Florida. Here in Louisiana, we know what it's like to go through hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, so our prayers go out to all the people in Florida and our hopes that they're safe and make it through this hurricane well. I just want our fans to know and everyone to know that LSU made every attempt to try to play this game. We offered to go to Gainesville on Sunday. We offered to fly in there Sunday morning, play the game, and fly back Sunday night. We offered the opportunity for them to come here Saturday or Sunday to play the game. We made every opportunity to play it. Ultimately, the decision was made by the league office, and we respect that. You have to respect safety. You have to respect Florida's concern about safety and travel. So, at the end of the day, though, we're very disappointed. We wanted to play the game. Our players wanted to play the game. I personally wanted to play the game. And that's kind of where we are right now. I've been asked by some people, have I been questioned about rescheduling the game? I have had no contact with anybody, the conference office, Florida, or anybody else about rescheduling this game yet. So I want to make that very clear. No contact about rescheduling the game yet. We'll do everything we can, just like other folks have done in helping the relief effort in Florida. We'll do anything we can here to help them get through this and move on. And going into the future, I have full confidence in Coach Ogeron and what he's doing with this team. The spirit's terrific. I just watched practice, and the kids are excited, even though they're very disappointed about not playing this game. And I'm looking forward to the next games. I don't know how many we're going to play, so we'll see. So I'm open to questions. Go ahead, hit me.
Do you feel like Florida steered the decision-making process on this?
Well, I can tell you this, Michael. My first conversation with Jeremy was on Tuesday. He felt very confident they were going to be able to play the game. We had a conference call on Wednesday, and they were very confident that they could play the game. They thought maybe they may have to move the time a little later. And then today, it all fell apart. Today, it was from the very beginning, it just fell apart. At the end of the day, they were concerned about safety, and their school is closed, and safety is the main issue. They're not going to be able to have any public safety people there. They're all the police have other duties they have to do. It was their home game, but at the end of the day, the commissioner's office had the final say on what happens.
Do you think moving forward there needs to be a mandate, whether it's 48 hours, 72 hours, if a campus is closed, the game's off, those kinds of things? Is that something you want to address?
I think that there should be some plans in place prior to like today. There could have been plans maybe put in place that this game could have been handled differently. And that's a possibility.
Is it fair to the student athletes who work all year long for 12 games? This is the second year in a row that you guys are going to lose a game, right?
Yeah, it's sad. I feel bad for the student athletes. They worked real hard. They were really looking forward to the game. And I'm sure the Florida players were really looking forward to the game too. But also you got to remember that those Florida players have a lot of families, just like our families here in Louisiana. They have a lot of families that are affected by this storm. And schools closed, and they want to go help their families or be with their families also. So we have to be sensitive to that.
Is there any incentive to make this game up from an LSU perspective?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, there's really not a lot of opportunities to make it up. It would be very difficult to give up a home game to make up this game. It would be very difficult.
Joe, was the SEC there the whole way? I mean, were they okay with Florida saying on Wednesday that they weren't going to play the game outside of Gainesville?
The commissioner was on the conference calls when we had those conference calls, and those words were uttered, and there was no argument about it.
They said neutral sites that just they didn't even think about that.
I don't believe so. Jeremy said that in his press conference, that they didn't even look at other sites.
I mean, even if it came to an empty stadium or something, you would be open for that? or would you have been open to playing?
I suggested that we play the game on Sunday in front of nobody, if that was the case, if there was no police available.
Do you think the SEC should have a policy where they have a list of neutral stadiums available to look at in case of events like this?
Nah, maybe.
I understand you have to be civil and work with these people, but from the outside looking in, it seems like they were unrealistically stubborn in demanding that game being played there. Having an inside track to it, is it different?
Well, I mean, their whole concern was safety. Travel, and you know, you gotta bring the equipment truck, there's a lot of safety issues, there were no police. I don't know if you all listened to Jeremy's press conference, so I'm sympathetic to what he said. I understand what he said.
But they were asking the same thing of your team.
And we were willing to do it. We were willing to go there. And we had a plane, we had buses, and we were willing to go. That's my point I want to make here. We would have done anything to play the game.
Joe, did Florida offer to, y'all come down November 19th? Is that talked about at all on the conference call with them, the November 19th date?
No, Ross, I addressed that initially. There has been no conversation at all with anybody about rescheduling the game yet.
If you reflect back on moving the game from South Carolina to Baton Rouge, what's the major difference on why that didn't occur?
Yeah, I asked that question. The biggest difference that was we knew about South Carolina like on Sunday, so we kind of had a whole week to prepare, and South Carolina had a whole week to prepare. Although they did the same thing. They used our plane to come down here, just like we offered them our plane to come here. But this was the decision was made today, Thursday.
What about Monday, Joe? Was that discussed?
It really wasn't discussed, although, to be quite frank with you, we would have made it happen in Tiger Stadium if we had that opportunity to play on Monday.
So that's 4 days away. I mean, is it premature to cancel the game? I mean, could you?
All right, one more for Joe before we bring up Coach O.
What kind of demands can you make in this situation? I understand safety is, the safety net that they can fall back into, but are your hands kind of tied when you're doing something like this?
All I could do was offer opportunities. That's all I could do, and plead and beg and try to make it happen.
All right, Joe, thank you.